What's up, everybody? You ever run into a cat in the street or see a story on the news and you're like, oh, hell no. Dude right there, he don't belong out here. He don't belong on the street. You know, you've probably seen the dude that escaped from a Pennsylvania jail, same jail that another cat escaped from, not too long ago in May. This is a cat that really, he just doesn't belong on the street. Some people might be like, that's some cop shit, man. Not really, this is some real shit, man. This cat right here is a very dangerous dude. He's from Brazil, wanted for a murder over there, comes over here, does some vicious things to a chick that he's supposed to care about, and now he's on the run. By the time we drop this video, he might be captured, but he's definitely been on the run since, for what, about 9-10 days now, since August 31st? And they just now said they spotted him in a creek bed, so by the time we drop the video, maybe he's captured. But this is one cat that doesn't belong out there. But let's get into his story. Danilo Cavalcante is on the run after being convicted of killing his girlfriend in a violent way. Danilo would lash out against his girlfriend, Deborah Brando, stabbing her over 38 times in every vital organ. Her 7-year-old and 4-year-old children would stand by as this psychopath would commit this vicious act. After the stabbing, Deborah Brando's 7-year-old daughter told police that Danilo showed up at their house and said he was going to do something bad to their lives, and pulled 2 knives out from a black bag that was behind his back. The 7-year-old would scream in anguish as she witnessed her mother fighting for her life. Danilo, in response, would throw a rock at the 7-year-old, mid-attack, in an attempt to quiet her, hitting her in the leg. But what would send this 5-foot killer into a rage? Both Deborah and Danilo are natives of Brazil and would start a relationship that seemed solid in the beginning. But within 2 years of dating, things would change, and they would change drastically. Deborah would tell her best friend and sister, Sarah, that Danilo was nice to her. He was nice to her children, and that he helped her. But when he drank the devil's drink, he would become the devil himself, and in time, he would prove to be just that. Deborah would tell Sarah that Danilo was extremely jealous, that when he drank, he became a different person, that he kept going through her cell phone. Deborah would file a protection from abuse order against Danilo in December 2020, after one of many beatings. But nothing would stop him or his history of playing dangerous games with knives. To Danilo, the order of protection was nothing but a piece of paper. That piece of paper would hold no weight in keeping him away from Deborah. With his continued threats, she would tell him that she was going to call the cops and let them know that he had a warrant in Brazil for murder, and that he had fled the country for the USA in fear of being sent to prison for a prior killing. In response, he would lash out in the most horrific ways, ending his 33-year-old ex-girlfriend's life at 4:17 p.m. on April 18, 2021. After brutalizing Deborah, ensuring she would take her last breath in front of her children, Danilo, the alleged ex-gang member, would flee to Virginia in a black car. Not long after, he arrived at the birthplace of this nation. He would be arrested and sent back to Schuylkill, PA. Danilo would go to trial, where his attorneys argued that he was provoked and snapped when he attacked Deborah. Danilo's attorneys would put a lame defense together that he acted in the heat of passion. The jury would buy none of it and find him guilty after hearing Deborah's young daughter's testimony at trial. She would say, "That's him. That's the guy that killed my mom. Please get him and put him in prison." On August 16, 2023, Danilo was convicted of first-degree murder and possessing an instrument of crime in the killing. Just days later, a judge would sentence him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. All his fears had now become his reality. Prosecutors would close the case, feeling successful. But Danilo had other plans. Life in prison was not what he seen for his future. Perhaps Brazil would not be so bad. Danilo was housed at the same Chester County prison that another prisoner escaped from in May 2023. Danilo had heard how Igor Bolte did it and decided if he could do so, then so could he. The only difference, Igor was caught shortly after his escape. But Danilo would crab walk up the wall, climb on the roof, and drop down to an area that was less secure. From there, he was able to make his way away from the prison. August 31st, 2023 was his first taste of freedom. The 160 cameras at the prison did not see the escape unfold, and a guard in a tower overlooking the prisoners did not see Danilo slip away from his life sentence. That guard, now suspended. Freedom feels good when he breathed it in and began to run off to his new life. But for how long? The public is in an uproar and being warned by law enforcement to lock their doors because due to their negligence, there was a 2-time killer on the loose. Danilo. So how many people think that this kid should be on the street? You think people in PA are really like locking their doors and they're afraid? And yeah, definitely. I think this dude's a vicious dude. You know, my boy, hold up. Don't call him your boy, Chad. Now, he ain't my boy. I'm just saying, people like this, you know, you have to wonder, where is the compassion? Like, you brutalize this lady in front of her kids. 2 little kids are going to grow up without a mother now. And this cat, he's on the street. He's on the street right now running around. Because why? Because the cops, right? They ain't doing their job. And so many people that aren't involved in the criminal justice system, they're like, how the hell did he escape Sally? They're sitting down at Tim Hortons right now, you know, eating breakfast, whatever, having a donut and a coffee, or they're at Starbucks, and they're talking about this. It's all over the national news. And they're wondering, how could he ever get out of that jail? Well, how'd the dude get out in May? I'm going to tell you how. I've been there. Not that specific prison, but there's so many people that don't give a shit. You know, there's staff members in all kinds of prisons and jails that ain't even coming to work now. You know why? Because they're like, man, I'm not working here for 35 grand a year, 40 grand a year. I go to work when I feel like it. That's the mentality of a lot of people that work in these places now. It's not the way it used to be where, people are like, I got me a good job down there at the prison. Out there in the country, and this is the only place they got to work. People are, man, they're like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on that. You would wonder, like, how did this other cat escape the same way in May, and now this dude, he can go ahead and climb the wall and escape? Because no one gives a shit. 160 cameras, they put the cop on leave. You know why? He's probably in there on his jack, on his phone, like, he was playing his favorite game. He was busy on Facebook trying to line something up for tonight. He didn't care about the cameras. He didn't care what was going on. It isn't because it was a blind spot. It's because he wasn't watching the camera. You seen the cat scale the wall, right? People are like, oh, man, you're from prison. You shouldn't be talking like that. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm bringing you the story. You can, say what you want or think what you want. But I think a cat like this, man, he don't belong. He just don't belong in society, I guess you could say, right? The ruthlessness, the fact that he didn't care about the kids being there. Like, are you serious right now? Come on, man. You're out of your mind, my boy. You're bugging out right now. Absolutely bugging out. You know what a bug out is? A person that don't think rationally. A person that has lost their mind. Let me tell you something. I've been with people, man, from all over, right? El Salvador, Honduras, Jamaica, Pakistan. When you're in the feds, you're around all these people. But let me tell you something. The people from South America, not in a disrespectful way, but they just think differently, right? It's real and it's raw over here. We're going to tell you what it is. Those people are vicious. And I interviewed that white kid that was in jail over there. In Honduras? He sent me some videos and some pictures where I was just like, wow. Couldn't even believe what I was looking at. Sometimes they're ruthless. This cat was from Brazil. You think he wasn't out there in the jungle at times and, all of this stuff? And now he's out here on the run. He's in the creek bed. He's out in the woods. This man's been on the run for how long? What's today, the 7th? He's been on the run for 7-8 days. And he's making it. But like I said at the beginning of the video, maybe he'll be captured by this time because they just now said they spotted him in a creek bed and they're putting that full court press on him. But anyway, man, leave your opinions and your thoughts. You guys like videos like this? Should we do this on a daily basis? You let me know. Maybe we can start putting those out in the morning, put interviews out at night. You let me know. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. With respect, until tomorrow, we're out.